Okay, hey guys, today we're going to start a new series on telescope mounts. This is a part of a bigger series I'm doing called Understanding Astronomy Year. So now, this telescope, it has an equatorial mount. So the different types of telescope mounts are equatorial and altazimuth. Altazimuth just meaning that it can go up high and along the horizon, so anywhere. So, what's the difference between the two different types of telescope mounts? So, an equatorial mount, you will have to situate it around the celestial equator, so the celestial equator being Polaris. So you will aim the telescope at Polaris, and that will calibrate the mount so you can navigate the sky. An altazimuth mount is the simplest kind of a telescope mount. You won't have to do any of that. You will simply be able to point your telescope into the sky and just stargaze. So, some of the bigger differences are, the altazimuth mounts are generally much cheaper because they're simpler. However, the thing about telescope mounts is you generally want to find bundles that go with a mount and telescope, because telescope mounts can be really expensive no matter what mount you get. The equatorial mounts obviously being more expensive. But, so, with the background of experience, it really kind of does depend on how much experience you have with telescope mounts and the telescope in general as a whole, because equatorial mounts obviously do take a little getting used to. So if you're a beginner, you probably would want to go with an altazimuth mount just to begin with. So then you may want to, you could just buy the mount separately from the telescope, pay a little more, so then you can, at some point, switch out the mount to an altazimuth mount and maybe sell your equatorial mount if you want to get to something. Or sell your altazimuth mount and get to an equatorial mount, because you will want to start out with an altazimuth mount, and then you can move up to an equatorial mount. So, the equatorial mounts are more complicated, but they are, in some respects, easier, because, like with my telescope, it has an astro tracker mount, so it's a step down from what's called a go-to mount, which is a fully computerized mount that has a database of thousands, tens of thousands, or even in some case 100,000s of objects, where you can just select an object and it'll go to it. It'll do that to some degree with the astro tracker mount. You just have to operate these tabs there, and you operate the tabs and it'll go to the different coordinates, because each of these on the tripod has different coordinates it's set to. So, this has been an introduction to telescope mounts.